done some reflecting over this past year, and I think I've really come to understand, based on my own experiences and those of others around me that I know, that most young entrepreneurs fail not because they're not talented enough, not because they're not smart enough, not even because they don't work hard enough sometimes, but it mostly comes down to a crazy lack of focus. In this video, I'm going to talk about two kinds of different focuses. There's the focus when it comes to the business model that you are going to follow. Are you going to stick to e-commerce? Are you going to do YouTube shorts, make money that way? Are you going to do a social media marketing agency? Whatever is the business model you're going to follow. But then there's also a very big lack of focus when it comes down to what you're going to focus on during this chapter of your life. And this is obviously going to happen, right? We're still young. We still have a lot to discover, and there's still a lot we haven't experienced. So we try to kind of have a little bit of everything. Now, first, let's talk about the lack of focus when it comes to shiny object syndrome, when it comes to the business model that you follow. Over the last year, I've focused on one single business model, and that is e-commerce. I started e-com doing print on demand, and then I transitioned over to now shipping my own inventory all within the time span of 1 year. I made tremendous progress, more progress than I ever made before in my life in any sort of business model. And that comes down to one thing. I only focused on e-commerce. There was nothing else I was going to do. I wasn't going to suddenly decide to start a social media marketing agency. I wasn't suddenly going to start doing YouTube shorts. I wasn't suddenly going to start just focusing on doing TikTok content. Nothing, everything else was eradicated. Now, even for me, it was still difficult to do because there was actually times during this year where I was like, you know what, let me try to make some money off of the TikTok Creator Awards program, which I did, and I documented the journey for that here on YouTube. But then after a month and a half or 2 months of doing that, I was like, what am I doing? I started to slowly pull me away from my main focus, and that was e-commerce. I brought my focus back again to ecom, and even then when I was making those TikTok videos to make money through the 1 minute plus longer videos, I still was running my e-commerce business. I was still pretty focused on it, but it took away from my ultimate focus. Now, it's not just sticking to one business model at a time, it's having just one thing on your mind. Right? If you tell yourself you're going to do e-commerce, that is all you should think about. You should think about ways you can improve your e-commerce business, how to increase conversions, how to run ads, how to make better content to drive more traffic to your site. And then the other part of this is, don't just decide on one thing or pick one business model to follow, try it out for 3 weeks, and then say, oh well, it doesn't work or the results aren't that good. That's the other huge problem. And there's many coaching clients that I've spoken to, and I never realized how crazy the extent of people just switching up on something, how quickly it happens. So I had a coaching client who started out a new endeavor, or more specifically a new niche when it comes to e-commerce, a new product they were going to sell. They received the sample of and this is no knock towards them, right? If you're watching this right now, they received the product, the samples of it. They were doing print on demand, so they didn't need inventory and anything. They were ready to go right when they received the samples to create the content. They make 10 videos in 1 day. None of the videos, of course, went viral. They didn't get any sales from the videos. The one that got the most views got about 300. And then after one single day of content, he said, all right, this doesn't work. I need to switch up. I need to do different designs. Maybe I need to sell different products after 1 day. And I realized that this is the majority. This model right here represents the majority of young people. Many of you are going to do something, right? Even, let's not even say e-commerce, let's just say YouTube content. You're going to make a bunch of YouTube videos for 1 week, and then after none of those go viral, you are going to quit. Do you know how long it takes to perfect a craft, to like actually start making solid money from it? Do you really think you're going to achieve any sort of results in 1 day? Right? And many people think, oh, if I just do a lot of it in like a week and a half, or a week, or maybe a couple of days, I can get then a sample size to then no, there's no evaluating here. You've done that for 1 week. There's no, the odds that you're going to receive your product, make one TikTok video about it, it's going to go viral, and then you're going to make $10,000 suddenly, are so slim and stupid to even go for. What you need to do is set a timetable for yourself. I'm going to focus on this one singular business model for the next 6 months, not even 6 months is still not enough time. 8 months to a year. That's still on the more conservative side of things. 8 months to a year of absolute focus on this one business model. And I'm going to do it consistently every single day. And as I slowly progress, I'm going to learn, okay, that maybe that was a mistake. Let me change this up. Or maybe I should double down on this thing right here because it's driving more traffic to my website, for example, right? Doing things for 1 week are not going to give you a sample size. And you're going to keep jumping from one side hustle to another, one business model to another. You're going to be that person who looks back over the last 10 years of their life and realize they never really gave substantial time to anything to see it flourish. I mean, that's like planting a seed today and tomorrow expecting to have a mango tree. When does that ever happen? That never ever happens. You need to sit there, plant your seed, water your seed, take care of the soil, trim it as it continues to grow so you can build this beautiful mango tree that's going to give you beautiful mangoes for years to come. If you want to build a strong business with a strong foundation that's going to give you income for the next 5, 10, 20 years to come, it's going to take time to build up that business, and you need to give it that time to flourish and to give you results that you can then analyze and grow from. So that's the first part of focus for young entrepreneurs. You need one business model and to give it enough time. The second important thing to focus on is you need to decide what chapter of your life it is that you're going to embark on right now. Again, I'll use myself as an example. When I graduated college, I had my marketing degree. I knew I wanted to work in marketing, but ever since I was 10 years old, I was never going to avoid this. I knew I wanted to become an entrepreneur. I wanted to become a businessman. And I knew that it was going to take a lot of sacrifice. It's going to be risky, but most importantly, it's going to take a lot of sacrifice, and other things are going to have to sit on the back burner, at least for a period of time. And when I graduated, I made kind of like a promise or a vow to myself that the next 2 to 3 years, the chapter that I was going to enter was my entrepreneurship chapter and really build the foundation for me to become a full-time entrepreneur. Now, in the past, there was things that really took a large focus in my life. For example, fitness. I had a time period of a year to two where I wanted to become a personal trainer. I wanted to train people. I was really into the gym, and I took it to a very, very high level, right? I was down to 6% body fat, super shredded, working out 2 times a day, weighing out every single meal that I was going to eat. It was my main priority. I became known as that fitness guy, pretty much. That was the main focus in my life. That was the chapter that I was in. Everything else sat on the back burner, right? Going out, relationships, friendships, business, all of that kind of took a back seat to me becoming in having elite fitness so that eventually I can start my personal training business. Eventually it went to shit because I realized I didn't actually want to become a personal trainer. That wasn't the kind of entrepreneur I wanted to be. But anyways, when you enter a chapter in your life that you want to be elite at this one thing, everything else has to take a back seat. So many young people are going to say, well, I really want to be a successful entrepreneur. So what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur is 2 to 3 to 5 years of sacrifice as your business is in the growth stage. There's various stages of your business. There's the growth stage in the beginning where you're building the foundation, where your business needs to be your ultimate focus. And then there is the growth and maintenance phase. And they confuse sometimes these two phases because they'll see influencers or entrepreneurs who are already very successful have a multi-million-dollar business or be very successful in business, and at the same time do things like run marathons or work out 2 times a day or always travel, right? They're in that stage of their business where they can travel a lot, or in the relationship stage of their life, or the kind of moving from this place to living in this place, living in this place, and they think that that's what entrepreneurship is. That's actually not what it is. That's once you reach that phase of entrepreneurship. But in the foundation phase, in the building phase, you need to focus 80% of your time just on your business. You can't be over here, oh, I'm going to plan to run a marathon this year. I'm also going to travel to 10 countries, and I'm also going to build a huge network, and I'm also going to get into a relationship, and I'm going to get a bunch of friends and move here and move there. And you're doing all these different things, so everything gets 10 to 15% of your time. Entrepreneurship also ends up getting 10 to 15% of your time, and you're going to be, you're going to be well-rounded, right? Because there's very big thing of let's be well-rounded, let's have a little bit of everything, right? but you're going to be well-rounded and average at everything. At best, mediocre, most likely. You're going to be mediocre at everything. You're not going to have a great relationship. Your business is going to be kind of shit. Your performance in your career is going to be kind of shit. Your network is going to be kind of shit because you haven't really built anything to have a strong network. So you're over here juggling 30, 50 different balls at once, and you're not doing well juggling any of them. One of them falls here, then another falls, and another falls, versus just sacrificing 2 to 3 years of ultimate focus on entrepreneurship. Obviously, you can have other things going on in your life. I'm not saying lock yourself in a room for 2 to 3 years and just be a cave dweller, right? You're gonna have these other things, but I'm using myself as an example. Fitness at this point in my life is not as big as it was 3 to 4 years ago when I would work out twice a day. Now, am I going to completely leave my health behind? Absolutely not. I'm still going to work out 4 to 5 times a week, but it's not going to be to that extreme level when I'm in the gym for 2 hours, 2 times every day. Right? You're still going to have your friendships. You're going to hang out with your friends, but maybe now it's a once a week thing, once every 2 weeks kind of thing, right? I'm not saying abandon your partner and break up with your partner because you're doing your business, but involve your partner in your business. If you're married, if you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is, involve them in your business so that way they feel a part of it. And as you're working on your business, you're also spending time with them, right? But the ultimate focus in your life for this period of time, especially as someone who's very, very young. Many people watch my channel actually a lot older, but there's still a proportion of people who are 16, 17, 18, early 20s, right? Or even mid 20s. You need to just think about it this way. If you're 17, 18, give this 3 to 4 years and your business is going to take off 100%. There's no doubt on that kind of time frame. 3 to 4 years of focus on one business model and making this 3 to 4 year chapter of your life just entrepreneurship, you're going to succeeding in it. And then you're going to find yourself at 21, 22 where your business is flourishing. Obviously, you don't have to work a corporate job. Now you can start to build in or increase the percentage of those other things in your life. Now, maybe if you want to get into elite shape, now you can join boxing or join Muay Thai or start running marathons because your business is in the maintenance stage. And this is where many influencers are at. So you're watching these influencers who are traveling all the time, who are doing all these extravagant things like running marathons, doing their first professional kickboxing fight, their first professional boxing fight. And you think that this is the norm for any business person. It's absolutely not. They've reached a phase where their business is a little bit on autopilot now. They're still involved in it, but they're not working 80 hours a week. Now they're working, 25, 30, 35, 40 hours a week on their business. That leaves them a lot of time to slowly increase the time they spent on those other things, right? So you're still going to be well-rounded, but you're going to be elite in business. You're still going to be in good shape. You're still going to have good friendships, good network, a good relationship. You're going to be an elite business person. So that's pretty much the moral of this video, man. I want to tell you guys, sacrifice is the key to all of this. The next 2 to 3 years, sacrifice and focus is the name of the game. And in one single year where I decided to really focus on entrepreneurship, and you're probably saying, oh, but you do YouTube and then you do your e-commerce. But when I come on YouTube, I just talk about everything I've learned in my e-commerce business. So teaching kind of helps you learn better, and it also helps you grow. So over the last 2 years, I've just completely focused on e-commerce. Now my business is very solid. Every single month on TikTok Shop, we're in the top 10% of gross merchandise value sold. The Shopify is killing it. It's growing too substantially every month. The YouTube channel, over 2,000 subscribers. That's because I only focused on these things, and I've been able to achieve great success in them. Maybe in 2 to 3 years, I want to get back into kickboxing, Muay Thai, when I want to do my first professional fight. Who knows? But for now, the ultimate focus is on this until you reach a point where maybe for you, that point is $100,000 a month or 200. It doesn't need to be millions and millions every month. Maybe for you, you set the goal. Business, I'm going to be in the chapter of entrepreneurship in my life until I make 100 to 200,000. Now let's make it a bigger goal. Let's do until I make $200,000 a month. Boom, you hit $200,000 a month. Now you can start to increase the percentage of time you give to other things, and your business is going to maintain that 200, 300 mark, for as long as you still continue to put time and effort into it. Then once you get to that point, you hire people, you have people doing other things that you used to spend your time on, and just frees up a lot of your time. So thank you for watching this video. If you want to focus on TikTok Shop, as the Shopify notification goes off, if you want to focus on TikTok Shop and e-commerce, and that's the chapter that you want to enter in your life for the next year or two, and you need guidance on that, you'll find my school link down below. On there, we do live weekly calls. I have a bunch of pre-recorded modules, pretty much everything you need to know about e-commerce, and there's new ones uploaded every single week. You have direct access to me on there as well. You can ask me any questions, and have someone who just did this and is still active in the game kind of guide you. I'm not someone who did drop shipping in 2015 and all I know is Facebook ads. So with that being said, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. I'm out.